Let's invite the next person. 接下来这位嘉宾，他是来自于加拿大，他是美国税务专业人士 EA， 毕业于中国安徽财贸大学经济专业和加拿大康科迪亚大学约翰摩尔森商学院会计专业双学士学位，曾经是美国华盛顿州注册会计师和加利福尼亚州保险经纪人，现在是美国税务方案解决专家。自2022年6月以来，与伍迪联合主办了3次推特大会，确定了 GCV， 并在做全球布道和推广。他的名字叫做 Doris In， 让我们有请 Doris In。
好的，谢谢主持人静心的介绍哈，大家能听得清楚吗？
可以听到。
Can you hear me clearly? Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much. So today's my topic is how the pioneer community cooperate with the core team to successfully open mainnet as soon as possible. Dear community leaders, pioneers, and merchants, and ecosystem developers from all over the world, this is Doris In, greeting everyone at 10:40 a.m. in Toronto, Canada. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. On behalf of this conference organizing committee and initiator, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the 25th guest speakers above, and thank you for all your excellent speeches. You have discussed the current economic situation and historical mission of Pi Network in this financial crisis from different perspectives. How can the pioneer community take action to actively cooperate with the core team to complete the task of closed mainnet, to achieve the goal of successfully open mainnet to complete this glorious mission? I'm honored to invite two excellent ecological developers, Mr. Mikey St. Anna and Mr. Ridho Aravan, to participate in our speech. They deserve our admiration because they bravely stood up to support the ecological developers of GCV. Our GCV communities will strongly support and embrace the GCV ecological platform and suppliers. Also, I'm very appreciative to Workforce Pool co-founder Mr. Laurie to attend our conference. We'll pay close attention to your platform too. Before discussing the topic, I would like to introduce myself briefly. I'm a Canadian Chinese. I hold 2 bachelor's degrees in Chinese economics and Canadian accounting. I graduated from Anhui University of Finance and Economics in China and Concordia University in Canada. I was American certified public accountant, CPA, and American California insurance broker. I'm a USA tax professional enrolled agent now. My expertise is to conduct financial analysis of companies and projects and submit risk control report. My tax expert is companies and projects. My tax expertise is financial research for taxpayers and providing tax solutions. The purpose of my personal career background is to tell you that it is my expertise to summarize all kinds of information and propose solutions. So I analyze the current situation of Pi Network and put forward objective and feasible analysis report. As a US tax professional, I will analyze everything based on facts. We must do everything rigorously and avoid risks, but simultaneously, we should solve problems instead of waiting passively. Next, I will analyze and summarize the topic of this conference. I have discussed the relationship between the pioneer community and the core team in many speeches. Only when we understand our relationship will we not fall into complaints and wait passively. Most of our pioneers come from the low-income community. Life is tough, and they receive little education, especially when they need to learn how a company or project operates. In addition, they are affected by false news. They mistakenly think that core team will control everything. They thought once the technology is complete, the open mainnet will open. Everyone is suffering because they have been waiting only for the open mainnet from the bottom of their hearts. Many pioneers are eager to pass KYC and transfer coins to wallet because they need cash to survive. What they said seems make sense. They said they couldn't support themselves any longer and must sell their coins to survive and continue living. We must have seen the public buying and selling of Pi currency everywhere. I once saw in Facebook group that the purchase price was only 0.87 US dollars. Some pioneers think that they have nothing to do with it. They believe lighting up the mine button is the only thing to complete the pioneer's task. Lighting up the mining button is essential, but lighting up is far from bearing the title of pioneer. It can be called a miner at most. Pioneer, as the name implies, the leading force in the combat and the marching are likened to the people and the collectives who lead the cause. Our reputation has given us a historical mission to pave the way for the successful open mainnet. The core team needs pioneers to participate in completing the landmark mission. Pi Network core team said, there is no shortcut to achieve real long-term success, whether for individuals or the internet, in history or today, in a cryptocurrency or non-cryptocurrency domain. Great things need time and unremitting efforts to build. We hope that all pioneers have the same spirit. See through the noise of the outside world, the upside down of the outside world. Continue to focus on the construction of substance and unremitting create ourselves in prosperity and adversity. We strive to achieve it. This tells us that there must be resistance on the road to success. All kinds of voices and even slanders attacks have been around us. Thus, there must be more than that in financial revolution, monetary revolution, technological revolution. Where does the resistance come from? The redistribution wealth affects some vested interest. Revolutions have always been from the bottom of the people, and reforms is from top to bottom. This is doomed to be extraordinary revolutionary path. So our pioneers need to firmly believe in the core team and follow the call from them to keep their pie from being harvested, because it will affect the decentralization of pie. In addition, I suggest pioneers do not participate in any no-cost ecosystem platform. We should also help our teams and the community to understand the idea of the pioneers' responsibility for the rise and fall of the pie. An individual buying and selling pies behavior will cause it impossible to move forward. Blocking this loophole may let expected KYC and large migration to move smoothly. In this process, there must be all kinds of noise that hinder our empowerment, and all sorts of arguments will appear. These arguments are constantly changing to paralyze you so that you don't make any effort. Wait for a flower to bloom by itself. Some of them may tell you that the price has been set by government, or the price has risen to 1 million, 10 million, or even 2 billion. You might feel so excited that you cannot sleep for a few days and nights. As a result, you still cannot see mass migration of a wallet or even open mainnet. End up, you will blame the core team for deceiving everyone. In fact, you easily believe in this fake news which has deceived yourselves. Today, I'm here to remind you that achieving the early arrival of open mainnet requires the efforts and the cooperation of every pioneer. First, control your eyes, ears, mouth, and hands. Don't search for good news every day. What you find is about comforting yourself. You are the source of good news. Don't sell your accounts or coins. Think about what you can do after selling your account or coins. you are only able to spend a few months. Not to mention that your behavior dramatically affects the process of Pi network. You may regret giving up the coins in your hand, but there is no medicine for regret. You give up the only chance to change you and your family's life, and you can only continue to live a miserable life in the future. Please don't be greedy to buy it, because your behavior will affect the project. With a successful GCV, a few dozens of Pi are enough to spend in a lifetime. Then why do you need so many? Wealth needs virtue to bear it. If there is no virtue, wealth will bring scourge and disasters. So how to promote the open mainnet? It starts with the above. If every pioneer does this, our development process will naturally accelerate. When you can do it, you have obligation to vigorously promote this idea in various communities and social platforms to help other pioneers realize it as soon as possible. When a large number of pioneers do so, it will be directly displayed in the reduction of large amount transfer on blockchain and proving that the risk is reduced so that there can be a large number of KYC and open mainnet. And ecology and suppliers will have the confidence and hope it may attract more external ecology to join in. The outer ecology is not from pioneer community. They must investigate the risk of the project. If the distribution price range from $1 to GCV, how can they get approval through financial analysis? In addition to managing ourselves well, we need to foster and participate in the ecological construction. How do our pioneers participate? The core team has told us to be ecological and business ambassadors. Ecological ambassadors need to find talents who can do ecological development themselves or through their social circle. The business ambassadors is to connect with local merchants to join the network. If pioneers has no these special abilities, you can only be a pioneer ambassador, continue to promote Pi Network, and let more people in the world participate in Pi Network. Why do we put forward a consensus GCV? That's for the distribution of Pi as a currency stable and decentralized. So if we want Pi as the currency circulate, there must be a consensus price so that all online and offline ecology will be active. During the closed mainnet, it is not a stage of exchanging goods by big commodity, but to build consensus price. Therefore, I have always advocated that small commodities be bartered locally. The cost of cross-border commodity is high risk, and few merchants are willing to do it. Even if they're eager to do so, they can only support limited supply. Many pioneers have thoughts of asking for bigger commodity during closed mainnet and look for cars and house everywhere. If merchants do this, they will be short of fund or bankrupt. Therefore, I look forward to the unified consensus price from the pioneer community as the priority. We have heard the idiom, killing chickens to get eggs. Please don't kill chickens. There can be no eggs and chickens after all. Even if there are a few big commodities, only a few pioneers can get them, while other pioneers increase their jealousy and anxiety. Therefore, I suggest cultivating pioneer consensus price GCV awareness during the closed mainnet, focusing on small items and local service industries such as daily necessities, hotels, games, etc., which will reduce operating cost and more transaction record can be created. More high-value commodities can be handled as appropriate after the market price is more stable, or support GCV after open mainnet. This can encourage pioneers to unify the price of GCV faster. Therefore, our pioneers should protect the benefits of the merchants and help them reduce risk by quickly promoting the achievement of GCV. Next, I want to discuss the question of who created the price. Dr. Nicholas has said that pioneers build the price of Pi, but many pioneers do think that the core team should set a price so they can rest assured. Therefore, there was no open mainnet on June 28, Pi 2 Day. Some pioneers and even the ecological platform questioned why the core team did not remove the firewall and open mainnet. I will say, if core team open a mainnet now, if you wanted to fail, if you wanted to succeed, you should implement my suggestions above. This kind of question behavior to the core team is like you tie one of your feet to the pillar and you cannot walk. You complain the other foot. Therefore, whether open mainnet, KYC, or mainnet migration are closely related to the risk control, and this risk comes precisely from Pioneer. The core team are not allowed to set Pi price, which is to implement regulation of the US SEC. I explained why the core team cannot be priced or open mainnet now. The ecology is not mature, and the maturity of the ecology requires a stable price in addition to technology. Some pioneers have been shouting that the government has set a price recently, calling on everyone not to make any effort and wait for the government to set a price. Everyone must know that government is the policy supervision department, not executive department of the economic entity. It is not suitable for government to set a price before the open mainnet. They can influence price by participating in ecological construction rather than announcing price. I won't repeat why the price is GCV is needed because we have discussed many times before. The pioneer community needs to give up the illusion of government pricing and participating in building GCV influence in a down-to-earth way. If you have available coins, you can join in creating online GCV data, which has been widely publicized in significant media promoting the mainnet from the community perspective above. We also need to improve our spiritual realm and strengthen physical exercise because only good health can have a healthy spirit. Although we know Pi is necessary, be aware of the daily news. Please don't rush to cash out because many of them are traps under the banner of monetization. We could spend time with our families and do our work well, which will help us empower and promote mainnet. In this way, if we don't pay attention to false news and no slanderous attacks, there will be no soil for survival. No one will see it. It will naturally reduce our burden. We focus on publicity and education of those low consensus pioneers to raise consensus to GCV. When they improve, the blockchain data will show the risk reduction will naturally accelerate the open of KYC and mainnet migration. Naturally, ecological merchants may enter the barter state. Keep a balance. Calm yourself in its way. So please adjust your mentality and do your duty well. We set up a goal-oriented attitude. Everything revolves around how to open mainnet. Put down all the temporary short-sighted ideas of fame or fortune. Don't damage the size of the core team for your selfishness. I'm curious to know how much more money you can make by successful open mainnet one day earlier. So be aware of using pretty tactics for temporary gains at the expense of your future. We need to be wise. This wisdom comes from within. Let go of dissatisfaction, resentment, greed, anger, stupidity, ignorance, and doubts in your heart, and naturally get great wisdom. Everyone also needs to know that deception does not guarantee valid, lasting wealth. Trickery will be lost quickly and close to disaster. Therefore, a gentleman has an excellent way to get money. If we do things beneficial to the public, we'll naturally get wealth given by God, which will not only not be lost, but also bring wealth, health, and happiness. Based on above analysis, I put forward some specific suggestions on how to advance open mainnet. First, it is clear that open mainnet requires pioneers to build together, and the core team will not guide the price. Let's create a price together. The price needs to be completed by the global pioneers' consensus. The core team and we are the relationship like fish and water. The two are indispensable and interdependent. So we need to act as pioneers ambassador, ecological ambassador, or business ambassador to help expansion of the network in environmental prosperity. Second, do not participate in any private transaction during the closed mainnet period and participate in the ecological barter to adhere to the GCV price. We are not only doing this to ourselves, but we also need to educate our team to do the same. The reason is that GCV price consensus can help pioneers cherish their coins and stop private trading so that they can make more KYC and mainnet migration record. A large number of mainnet migration and solid consensus GCV can attract more suppliers and merchants to join in. This method is the only way we can fulfill the opening condition of the ecological mainnet. Therefore, the initiative of open the mainnet is in ourselves, not a core team. We should do our best to do our respective duties. We should do an excellent job in each other essential role in our family. Do not be too addicted to pie. We should go to work, study in the normal life, unless we do something to empower. The general pioneer will only take a little time. We are pioneers, so we speak as pioneers rather than as a core team or on behalf of government. You should say matching with your role. However, actions speak louder than words, whether that implies good intention or pursuing self-interest at the expense of others. Follow the right path. Retreat from the wrong one. Do not follow evil paths or sin in secret. Accumulate merit and show a compassionate heart by loyal, respectful, friendly, and brotherly by improving ourselves. When a person's heart is moved by goodness, although the honor has not yet been achieved, felicitous spirits are already following him. But when a person's heart is moved by evil, although the evil has not yet been completed, spiritual of misfortune are already following him. A person who formerly did terrible things but afterwards repents and does no more evil and continues in good behavior gradually must obtain good fortune and happiness. This is called changing disaster into good fortune. Therefore, a joyous man speaks what is good, thinks what is good, and does what is good each day. He does these three things, and in 3 years, heaven will bequeath to his good fortune. But a unlucky man speaks what is evil, thinks what is evil, and does what is evil each day. He does these three things, and heaven will strike him with misfortune in 3 years. Why would we need to be more diligent in following this? This expert from the Taishang Induction chapter teaches us how to get blessing and happiness to avoid disaster. The fourth, by exercising your body and self-cultivation, can you maintain a state of not being impatient? Take 1 to 3 hours a day, contribute significantly to the empowerment of Pi. We aim to spread the right news to the major communities and the significant media. At present, it is the voice of GCV on Twitter. We need to move our work focus on Facebook and Instagram to publicize the network and the GCV to help pioneers who still sell many coins there to build up their confidence and hope to keep their counts and Pi. Fifth, actively participate in more than 300 existing ecosystems and learn more about participation. Support GCV platform suppliers and merchants to attract more ecological outlets, suppliers and merchants to unify GCV price. Our pioneers do not require them to price as a GCV. We respect their price, but will only follow GCV price. In this way, a unified consensus can be reached quickly. Any supplier or merchant with a higher investment will have a shortage of cash flow in 3 to 6 months. So the unified price will help healthy ecological development to meet the conditions for open mainnet as soon as possible. This risk of supplier and merchants does not come from the higher consensus price of GCV, but from the risk and speculation brought about by big different price in the market. The sixth, suppliers and merchants in various places can communicate more. Even international suppliers or merchants can contact more to develop better horizontally with the business-to-business model. At the same time, the whole industrial chain in seeking suppliers who can also accept Pi payment so that the international supply industry chain can be formed as soon as possible, making the Pi a real settlement currency. This will inevitably promote the earlier mature of ecology. The above is my speech today. Due to time limit, I briefly introduced how our community cooperate with the core team to advance open mainnet. The above analysis and suggestions can only represent my personal views, so I'm not represent the core team. This is the purpose of getting more insightful guidance. I want to thank all the guests and conference team members for their hard work, which has made today's successful conference. This conference will undoubtedly play an active role in education and guidance for entire Global Pi community. I now call on Global Pioneers community to unite, understand their responsibility and obligations, and unify them to GCV as soon as possible. Pi is a revolution and price is a weapon. GCV will win. Pi network will win. I'm now announcing the success and end of Global Community Pioneers Conference successfully finished. I wish all pioneers good luck and thanks to Chinese organizing community hard work. Doris Ying from Toronto, Canada, July 23rd, 2023. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Doris Ying. 那么接下来将由我对于 Doris 女士的分享进行一个中文的翻译。Now let me translate her. 她分享的主题是关于先锋社区如何配合项目方早日成功开放主网。尊敬的各国社区领袖、各国商家和各国生态开发者、演讲嘉宾以及全球的派先锋，我是 Doris Ying， 在加拿大多伦多中午11点向大家问好，早上好、晚上好和下午好。在这里，我代表本次大会的组委会和发起人向上面23位嘉宾表示由衷的敬意，感谢你们的精彩演讲。你们从各自不同的角度论述了目前的经济形势和派网络在这场金融危机当中的历史使命。先锋社区如何行动起来，积极配合项目方完成封闭主网的任务，来达到成功开放主网的目标，来完成此次光荣使命。我也非常荣幸邀请到2位优秀的生态开发者 Mr. Mike 和 Mr. Red 11参加了我们的演讲，他们是值得我们敬佩的，是因为他们勇敢地站出来支持 GCV 的生态开发者。我们所有的 GCV 社区将大力支持并拥护 GCV 生态平台以及供应商。在论述本次会议主题之前，我还是简单介绍一下我自己。我是加拿大籍华人，我持有中国经济学和加拿大会计学2个学士学位。我毕业于中国安徽财贸大学和加拿大康克迪耶大学。我曾经是美国注册会计师 CPA 和美国加州保险经纪人，目前仍然是美国税务专家 EA。我的会计专长是对公司和项目进行财务分析，并提出控制风险报告。我的税务专长是为纳税人做财务分析，并评估税务解决方案。我谈到个人的职业背景的目的是要告诉大家，对各类信息汇总并提出解决方案是我的专长。所以我分析派网络目前的形势，提出客观可行的分析报告。我们作为持有美国专业执照的人来说，一切以事实为依据，必须做事严谨，规避风险，但同时会积极主动解决问题，而不是消极等待。以下我会就本次会议的主题做一个分析和总结。我在很多次演讲当中已经论述了我们先锋社区与核心团队的关系。只有当我们明白了我们之间的关系，才不会陷入抱怨和消极等待当中。由于我们的派先锋大部分来自于社区底层，生活非常困难，接受的教育不多， 特别是对公司和项目如何运行没有任何概念，加上受很多虚假消息的影响，误以为项目方会掌控一切，只要技术完成了就会开放主网。大家之所以煎熬的原因是来自于内心一直在等待开放主网变现。很多先锋迫切希望通过 KYC 和映射的原因是想卖自己的账号，或者等映射后就卖得到现金，而且他们说的似乎也有道理，说自己日子过不下去了，必须卖了自己的币才可以生存。我们一定都看到到处公开买卖派币的行为。我曾经在脸书小组上看到价格是$0.87的购买价格。有些先锋认为自己什么都不要做，坚持点亮闪电就是完成了先锋的任务。点闪电固然重要，但是仅仅点亮闪电是远远不能承担先锋的称号，最多可以叫矿工。先锋顾名思义，作战和行军时的先头部队，比喻在事业中起到了引领作用的人和集体，也就是我们的名称已经赋予了我们历史的使命，那就是为派的成功开放主网铺平道路。核心团队需要先锋一起参与完成派的历史使命。派网络官方说，要想获得真正的长久的成功，从来没有捷径可走，不管是对人还是对网络，不管是在历史上还是在今天，不管是在加密货币还是非加密货币领域，伟大的事情需要时间和坚持不懈的努力来建立。我们希望所有的先锋都有同样的精神，看透外界的喧嚣，看透外界的起伏，继续专注于实质的建设，在顺境和逆境中坚持不懈的自己创造。我们努力去实现，这些是告诉我们成功的道路一定有阻力，各种不同的声音，甚至诽谤、谩骂、侮辱、攻击一直在我们的周围发生。那么在一场包含金融革命、货币革命和技术革命当中，当然一定是有过之而无不及。我们的阻力来自于哪里呢？来自于利益的重新分配影响到了某些既得利益者。历来革命都是从底层老百姓向上，而改革是自上而下，这就注定了派不平凡的革命之路。所以我们先锋要做的是坚定的相信核心团队，并跟随核心团队的号召，守住自己的派，不要被收割，因为它会影响到派的分散性。除了自己做到不参与任何的低价收割买卖之外，也要帮助自己的团队、自己的社区明白派之兴亡，先锋有责的思想。一个人的买卖行为会导致派无法前行，这个漏洞堵住了，才会让大家期待的 KYC 和大面积映射顺利前行。在此过程中，一定会有各种不同的喧嚣和噪音阻挠我们赋能，就会出现了各种论调。这种论调万变不离其宗，就是麻痹你，让你不要做任何的努力，只管点亮闪电，静等花开。有些告诉你国家定价了，有些告诉你派价格又涨了，涨到100万、1000万，甚至20亿了。听说你乍一听觉得好兴奋，兴奋的几天几夜都睡不着，结果总是等不来 KYC， 等不来映射，等不来主网，结果就抱怨怪项目方欺骗大家，实际是自己轻信相信了假消息，欺骗了自己。所以我在这里提醒大家，为了实现主网的早日到来，需要每一位先锋的努力和配合。首先就是从管住自己的眼睛、耳朵、嘴巴和手做起，不要天天搜索好消息，你搜到的都是在麻痹你的鸦片，你自己就是好消息的来源。不要忍不住去卖自己手中的账号或者币，想一想，你卖了只管几个月的开销，以后怎么办呢？更不用说你的个人行为大大影响到派的进程，你放弃了手中的币，以后一定追悔莫及。但是世间没有后悔药，你放弃了改变自己一生和家庭的唯一机会，以后只能继续过苦的日子。也不要贪心去买，因为你去买的个人行为会伤害到项目。一个派成功 GCV 几个几十个一辈子都够花了。为何需要那么多？财富需要德行来承载，如果没有德行，财富会带来祸害和灾难。所以如何推进主网，就是从管住这些做起。如果每一位先锋做到这些，我们的发展进程自然加快。 当自己可以做到之后，就有义务在各个社区和社交平台大力宣传这种思想，帮助其他的先锋早日觉悟。当大批先锋做到，就会直接显示在区块链交易数据大额转账减少，证明风险降低，才可以大量的 KYC 和映射，才可以让生态和供应商看到信心与希望，才可以吸引外部生态加入。外部生态不是先锋社区，他们加入一定需要考察项目的风险。如果派的价格从$1到 GCV 不等，他们如何通过财务报告获得批准呢？除了以上管理好自己之外，我们需要扶植和参与生态的建设。我们先锋如何参与？项目方已经告诉我们了，做生态大使和商业大使。生态大使需要自己通过自己的社交圈找到会做生态开发的人才，商业大使是对接当地的商家加入派网络。如果没有这些特殊能力的先锋，可以只做先锋大使，继续推广派网络，让世界上更多的人参与进来。为何我们提出共识 GCV？ 那是因为派作为货币流通的前提是稳定性和分散性，所以如果希望派币流通，必须要有共识价格，这样所有的线上线下的生态才会活跃起来。封闭主网期间不是以派兑换大宗商品的阶段，而是打造共识价格的阶段。所以我一直提倡小商品在当地易货，做跨境和大宗商品的成本高，风险大，很少商家愿意，即使愿意也支撑不了多久。很多先锋在封闭主网期间是索取的思想，到处找一车一房，如果商家这么做会造成资金短缺，所以我提出先锋社区统一共识价格到 GCV 为第一要务。我们听说过杀鸡取卵的成语吧？不要把鸡杀了，后面就不可能有鸡蛋和小鸡了。而且即使有少数大宗商品，也是只有少数先锋获得，其他先锋反而徒增嫉妒烦恼。所以我建议在封闭主网培养先锋的共识价格 GCV 意识，以小商品和当地服务行业为主，比如日用品和酒店客房服务、游戏等等，这样会降低运营成本，而且可以打造更多的交易记录。大宗商品可以宣布在市场价格稳定之后酌情处理，也可宣布开放主网后支持 GCV， 这样也是鼓励先锋更快的统一到 GCV 的价格。所以我们先锋要保护好商家的利益，通过快速促成 GCV 达成来帮助商家降低风险成本。下面我要论述的是价格是谁打造的问题。实际上尼古拉斯博士已经说过了，派的价格由先锋打造，但是仍然有不少先锋认为项目方应该定价，这样自己可以少受煎熬。所以这次628没有开放主网，有些先锋甚至生态平台质问项目方为何不开放主网。我想问的是，你们希望项目失败还是成功呢？如果你想它失败，就现在开放主网；你如果希望它成功，就必须执行我以上的建议。这种质问核心团队的行为，就好比自己把自己的一个脚绑在了柱子上，自己走不了，就怪另一个脚为何不快点跑一样的道理。所以开放主网也好， KYC 也好，映射也好，与风险控制息息相关，而此风险恰恰来自于先锋的自身。核心团队是不允许自己定价的，这是执行美国 SEC 的规定。以上我解释了为何核心团队不能定价，也不能现在开放主网，因为生态没有成熟。生态成熟了，除了需要技术以外，需要稳定的派的价格。那么又有一部分先锋最近一直在喊着国家已经定价，号召大家躺平，不要做任何努力，静等国家定价。大家必须知道，国家是政策监管部门，不是经济实体执行部门。派位成功主网之前，也不是和国家出面定价，这个也是不为 SEC 所允许的。各国政府如果支持派网络，可以通过参与生态建设的方式来影响价格，而不是公布价格。对于为何是 GCV 的价格，我这里不再赘述，因为我们之前论述了很多次。所以先锋社区需要放弃对国家定价的幻想，而脚踏实地的参与打造 GCV 的影响力。如果你有可用币， 可以参与线上 GCV 数据的打造，在各大媒体广泛的宣传。那么除了以上从社区角度来推进主网之外，我们还需要提高自己的精神境界和加强身体的锻炼，因为只有身体健康才可以有健康的精神。派虽然重要，但是不要沉迷于天天等消息，以至于受骗上当。不要急于到处变现，因为打着变现旗号的很多都是陷阱。我们不如拿出时间与家人陪伴，做好自己的本职工作，这样反而有助于我们的赋能推进主网。这样大家不去关注假消息，不去关注那些诽谤攻击的消息，自然黑子就没有了生存的土壤。没有人看，没有人传，自然会减轻我们的负担。我们会集中精力来做宣传教育那些低共识的先锋，提高共识到 GCV。 当他们提高之后，区块链数据就会显示风险降低，自然加快开放 KYC 和映射，自然生态商家可以进入到易货状态。平常心是道，所以把心态调整好，做好本分的事情。我们树立目标导向的态度，一切围绕如何开放主网而进行，放下所有暂时的短见的名利思想，不要为了一己之私而损害整个项目的利益。早一天实现派的成功主网，比你现在利用派赚的钱不知道多多少倍。所以我们不要聪明反被聪明误，我们需要做一个有智慧的人。这个智慧不是从外面学习的，而是把自己心中的不满、怨恨、贪欲、愤怒、愚蠢、傲慢、怀疑放下，自然得到大智慧。大家也需要知道，财富不是靠欺骗得到的，欺骗得到的会很快失去，而且离灾祸不远。所以君子有财，取之有道。我们做有利于大众的事情，自然得到上天赋予的财富，不仅不会失去，而且带来健康、快乐、吉祥如意。根据以上分析，我提出具体的如何推进主网的几点建议。一、明确开放主网需要先锋一起打造，核心团队不会引导价格，更不会定价，价格需要全球先锋共识完成。我们与核心团队是鱼和水的关系，两者缺一不可，互相依存，所以需要行动起来。可以作为一名先锋大使，或者是生态大使，或者是商业大使，来帮助派网络的扩大以及生态的繁荣。二、不要在封闭主网期间参与任何私下交易，参加生态易货，坚持 GCV 价格。我们不仅自己这么做，也需要教育自己的团队同样如此。原因是 GCV 价格共识可以帮助先锋珍惜自己的币，而停止私下买卖交易，这样可以大量的 KYC 和映射。只有大量的映射和稳固的共识 GCV， 才可以吸引更多的供应商加入，这样才可以达到生态成熟的主网开放条件。所以开放主网的主动权在我们手里，而不是项目方故意为难大家。三、做好敦促尽分，各司其职。我们做好自己家庭里各自的重要角色，不要过于沉迷派而影响工作、学习和生活。除非是真正在做赋能的事情，一般先锋并不会需要太多的时间。我们是先锋，就以先锋的身份说话，而不是冒充核心团队或者冒充国家身份说话。在什么样的位置就说什么样的话。所谓名正言才顺，举头三尺有神明，是道则进，非道则退，不履邪径，不欺暗室，积德累功，慈心于物，忠孝有弟，正己化人，夫心起于善，善虽未为而其绳以随之，或心起于恶，恶虽未为而凶绳己随之，其有曾行善事，后自改悔，诸恶莫作，众善奉行，久久必获吉庆。所谓转祸为福也。故吉人与善，事善行善，一日有三善，3年天必将之福。凶人与恶，事恶行恶，一日有三恶，3年天必将之祸。胡不免而行之？这段摘自 太上感应篇教导我们如何得到福报和幸福，避免灾祸的降临。4、锻炼身体，修身养性，这样才能够保持不急不躁的心态。每天拿出1到3个小时，就可以为派赋能，做出很大的贡献。我们的赋能就是把正确的消息传往各大社区、各大媒体。目前推特上基本上都是 GCV 的声音，我们需要把工作重点搬移到 Facebook、Instagram 去宣传派网络和 GCV， 帮助那里还在大量卖币的先锋，与他们信心与希望守住自己的账户和币。第5，积极参与已有的300多个生态，多去学习了解参与，积极支持 GCV 的平台和供应商，吸引更多的生态平台和供应商统一到 GCV 的价格。我们先锋不要要求他们按照 GCV 定价，我们尊重他们的价格，但是不会跟随，这样才可以快速达成统一共识。任何有高投入的供应商会在3到6个月出现现金资金短缺的问题，所以统一的价格会帮助生态健康发展，早日达成开放主网的条件。供应商的风险不是来自于 GCV 高共识价格，而是来自市场不平等价格带来的风险和投机。第6，各地供应商线下可以多交流互通有无，甚至国际各国供应商可以多加联络，以商业对模式横向发展参与易货，同时整个产业链上竖向发展，寻求自己的供应商也可以同样的接受派付款，这样可以尽快形成国际供应商产业链，使派成为真正的结算货币，这样必然会推动派生态早日成熟。以上就是我今天的发言，由于时间的关系，我就简单介绍了我们社区如何配合项目方推进主网，以上言论仅代表我个人观点，不代表核心团队，志在抛砖引玉，得到了更多的有识知识指导。在此感恩所有的参会嘉宾以及所有的会务组成员的辛勤付出，成就了今天这场圆满的大会。此次大会将对整个全球派社区无疑会起到积极的教育和引导的作用。我在此呼吁全球先锋社区团结一心，明白自己的责任和义务，尽快统一到 GCV 上来。派是一场革命，价格就是武器， GCV 必胜，派必胜。我现在宣布，此次派国际社区主网推动大会圆满成功并结束。在此祝愿所有的先锋吉祥如意。东方紫莲于加拿大多伦多，2023年7月22日。